we're going to talk about the WCLT class, Chapter 2, Product Storage. When material gets to a location, it's always inspected. Many steps to the process. The receivers will check the paperwork, make sure things are coming to the right place and that it is in fact ordered for this place. And then they're going to see if the load was secured, check the seals. They will inspect the load. If it looks right, they'll unload it and do a thorough inventory, a thorough count of what materials they have received. Then the responsibility is to store these products where they are going to be appropriately stored for retrieval at some point in the future. The warehouse management software has to keep track of everything coming and going. That's the only way a warehouse can know what its inventory is. There are several key issues affecting how product is stored. The environment can be very harsh. Some materials can't be exposed to humidity or extreme temperatures, hot or cold. Or it might be something that field mice or rodents might be quite attracted to if it's a foodstuff. And so those considerations have to be dealt with. Are there any issues about the product being crushed? Do you need shelving? Do you floor stack something? There are many ways that things are stored, but ultimately you have to keep track of it. You know where you have it, so when you need it to move it out, you know where to go. You're not spending a lot of time looking for it. Another way to store material is bulk, which may be a silo, maybe a tank, maybe a tote. There are significant differences. And there again, the environmental issues about exposure to air. Will it vaporize when exposed to air? Are these vapors harmful? Are they flammable? Are they hazardous to humans or to any materials? Another form of storage is racks, where we'll have shelving, where particular units are stored, perhaps a complete pallet, perhaps individual cases, or perhaps even a single item. Some materials will need to be rotated. The old first in, first out, that's another term, FIFO, which you will be quite familiar with by the end of this chapter. Shelving is very important. You wouldn't want a shelf come crashing down because the materials on it are so heavy that you've exceeded the rating and you have damaged product and, heaven forbid, someone injured because they were putting stuff on or off of a shelf and things crashed. That would be very unfortunate. So you have to know the shelving ratings and you have to heed those ratings and use them appropriately. Spacing. In a warehouse, floor space is a premium. You want to use what you need, but you don't want to waste it because that is wasted money. And money drives everything in the business. Another thing we're going to talk about is pallets. There are wooden pallets, there are specialized pallets, there are plastic pallets. They're even making pallets out of corrugated material, which are often disposable. They're one-time use. Then they're either shredded or burned or disposed of in some way. There are rental pallets. There's a couple of companies where you pay a rental fee for the use of a pallet. And some places just stack the materials on the floor of a tractor trailer and they may use slip sheets. This is another term. And specialized forklift grabbing equipment can use slip sheets and put material right on the floor, and when you get to a delivery site they'll probably pick them up on their slip sheets and put them on a pallet for locations in another warehouse. But this is another type of product storage. Wire mesh containers are sometimes used. They have very strong sidewall strength where you can stack materials, better utilizing floor space. Military crates. Actually, the military was the first organization to actually use crates and crating. You can go back and read about Napoleon and how his forces would go many miles per day, and all of their equipment had to be packed, and so things were crated. Everything they needed for war had to be special containerized. They needed equipment, they needed rifles, they needed bullets, they needed gunpowder, they needed food, they needed blankets and spare parts. And so the supply chain was another integral part of why Napoleon was so successful in his military campaigns, because he had good people who were organized and figured out a good way of moving massive amounts of material repeatedly, over and over. Their crates were very effective. And many things are modeled after those original designs, just the idea, which made him so effective. Another term you need to get familiar with is VLMs, vertical and horizontal loading machinery. Another type of load movement is a A-frame dispensing system you will see in some manufacturing processes, where small components are stored at a precise point in a shelved cubbyhole-like situation, and as a product moves along, a kit box moves along, parts are placed in the container and move along, and at the end of the line you have a kit with all the necessary parts. That is the A-frame system. There are many things that go into product storage, many considerations, and it's always to make work more efficient, more effective, more bang for the buck. Thank you.